Some of them uninstalled and reinstalled WhatsApp, thinking there's something wrong with their phone. Well, later on, it came clear Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, they were taking a break. And for a moment, the air became clean. The world was a little bit different for those of us who are a little bit cautious about social media. But the thing is, what is the economic implication of this such breakdown? Because you understand our ecosystem these days do rely on such platforms heavily. People are trading on WhatsApp. Right now, I'm joined by Peter Theory. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Long time, we haven't had a conversation. But now we are speaking post-WhatsApp after it's been resuscitated. I mean, did they give an explanation what caused the breakdown?
They did, Noah. They said that there was a problem with the underlying internet infrastructure that basically controls the flow of traffic between different, data centers, and that was a problem. It was more than 5 hours of people not accessing Facebook and all its products, such as Oculus, WhatsApp, Facebook itself, and Instagram. So it was a very dark.
I mean, just for a moment, Peter, how did you feel, even before you go to the numbers, how did you feel within the 5 hours?
So for me, what happened is, I just, I'm so much used to WhatsApp, to using WhatsApp and Facebook sometimes and Twitter. But the good thing is that I use Twitter a lot. So I check my WhatsApp and things are not loading. So the first thing I tell myself is I'm out of data bundle. So I buy a new package and then realize that it's still not working. And if my WhatsApp doesn't work, I test using Facebook if everything is okay. And Facebook also isn't working. So I restarted the phone, it still didn't work. I uninstalled my WhatsApp, installed another version, and still didn't work. So
I mean, it's just crazy the way our lives revolve around these social media platforms. Maybe that's a discussion of another platform, but for a moment, let's take a look at the numbers, the impact of this. First of all, on the companies. What was the economic ramifications of having such a breakdown?
No, you see, if you have a platform that's being used by 3.5 billion or more people in the world, it's going to have a big impact once it's shut down for one reason or the other. That's way, way more than maybe Twitter has. Twitter is in the hundreds of millions. And Mark Zuckerberg's net worth fell by around 7 billion, although there was another issue involving Facebook. Remember, these whistleblowers come out to say that there were some things, there are leaked documents about some things that Instagram was aware of that are affecting young people out here, young girls, teenage girls being affected by Instagram, and it ruined Facebook even before the outage, and the outage was now a double whammy, and this had a big impact because the stocks fell by around 5%. Zuckerberg's net worth also fell by like 7 billion, and that kind of, to try and recover all that might be an uphill task, because today that whistleblower is supposed to be facing Congress, or will be facing Congress. It's in the US, so it's behind our time here. And I don't know, we can know exactly how far it's going to be or how bad it's going to be, but it's already not looking so good. That's a lot of trouble coming in one weekend.
But look at Facebook. These are basically monopolies, global monopolies in the game they're in. It's sort of recovery is reassured. Who is competing against Facebook?
Yes, kind of. I'll agree with you now, because there was that temporary, kind of, let's switch to Twitter, let's go to Telegram. Is Signal still working? But then once Facebook came back, it was that sigh of relief, like, we waited. It wasn't the kind of outburst where people are so angry, you went away, at least you're back. So I can say it's true. People are so much into Facebook, people are so much into Instagram. You just can't escape that whole Facebook, thing, because you're on Instagram, you're on WhatsApp, you're on Facebook itself. Yeah, it's big, so recovery is, of course, expected some time. But taking blow after blow, that's what I'm worried about. It's not just the outage itself. There was also another issue. Yes. And like Facebook is not used to these outages. The last one happened like in 2019. That was a bigger one. This one now might have hit them hard because it was coming on the back of another investigation. I think that's what actually hit their stocks that bad. It wouldn't have been that bad, I think. But yeah, the recovery is expected. But then if that keeps happening, we're sure that a lot of people won't have confidence in Facebook going into the future.
Now, I have your number and I see your status. Thank you for allowing me. It's such a privilege. by the way. You post a lot of your articles right there, a lot of stories, other than the memes. You're becoming a meme lord, by the way. Slowly by slowly, you're transitioning into a meme lord. But there are people who use these platforms, like we have WhatsApp Business. You're running your business from these platforms. I know there's an alternative to call, but just looking at the micro and small businesses that operate on these platforms, what might have been the impact and how can they maybe cushion themselves for such an occurrence?
Yes, no, that's big. Actually, what you're talking about is big because there are people who actually sign in into different apps through Facebook. And like you talked about WhatsApp Business, definitely there are people who do business using that. And not only that, we communicate. We know that nowadays you don't have to go and meet a client out there for you to sell whatever you're selling. You're going to use WhatsApp, you're going to use Facebook. And apart from us who use them for memes, like you said, or other things, there are people who use these platforms mainly for business. So that hit them hard. And of course, for a moment, you wonder if there's another platform that they could use for the same. But then you realize that there is nobody who is quite like Facebook. And so before you get somebody who can really be competitive and somebody who could be used as an alternative, if Facebook probably fails, it's going to be forever. For now, I think the only thing they can do is hope that Facebook doesn't crash again before you get another solution, because whoever comes as an alternative is still not as big as Facebook. And just as we are usually stuck to status quo, I think it's going to be difficult pushing people out of WhatsApp, as in like convincing a lot of people.
I remember the Telegram situation a while back when WhatsApp, you know, the issue of data and you proving to them, you know, have access to some of your data.
Yes.
People are shouting so much on social media, I'll download Telegram, I'll do this and that. Then today we see their memes on the status. So it seems we are cornered.
Think about it, people. Everybody said that they were going to use Signal. Everybody was talking about how many new users Signal has gained overnight and all. There was a Twitter furor once, somebody like Elon Musk talks about Signal and they say that their stock has gone up by this %. But in the end, people realize that, wait a minute, I've got to go back to Facebook because I will be using Signal, but how many of my friends will try this new thing? And so I think the only thing we can do is hope that it doesn't get to a point where Facebook now crashes or something like that. And if we can hope for something else to come up, it's got to be something big enough that can compete. For now,
I know. I mean, social media, it's big. Even for mainstream media, you have to incorporate. These days, a lot of people opt to view their news, to do their research on these platforms, you know, search engines and whatnot. You've mentioned Elon Musk. He tweets about, for example, a particular, you know, cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden, the value of that goes up. So, I mean, the power, looking at the future of this big-time social media, are we going to see sort of people branching out to explore other options in regards to data privacy, for example, data security, and not amalgamating everything to these big players, the Facebooks? Do we see that possibility? Do we see a possibility of having an African Facebook? There was that talk a while back and it just went under the rug. I've even forgotten about it.
You know, no, I think there is a difference between how we'd like it to be and how it will ultimately be. And this is all because we have some giants, and these giants are really to, you know, kind of, I don't know if we'll say bring down or something, because if you think that we might want to branch out and have the African Facebook, how many people will believe in this African Facebook enough to leave the global Facebook? And the biggest thing, I think, for me is status quo. It is the story of it was there, it's here, it's not broken, why change it? Like people feel like we're doing just fine here. Everybody wants to be here. Why should we try something else if this one doesn't have flaws in it? And some of these intricacies and like what we had yesterday, it's not something that you see happening every single week. So for you to go and convince somebody that there's a possibility of this happening, there's a data. There are people who don't really actually know even about their privacy and such things. Don't use these platforms for marketing. They're just there because, well, it works.
Yeah.
They can share whatever they want to share. So moving people out of such a platform into a new one is going to be the biggest problem. And this is not to mean that Facebook will not be observing what the rest of you want to do out here and trying to adapt to that. Remember, they have economies of scale. Remember, they have the money. Remember, they can do as much as you people want to do there to compete with them or to beat them. So by doing that, and also by being the current force in market, it's almost going to be impossible to bring somebody else who can actually pull people out of that.
Yeah, and as we finish up, you've touched on data and the importance of data. I've seen quite a number of examples. For example, you're searching, you're looking for the latest microphone, all right? You search on your Google. The next time you log into your Instagram, some of those adverts that come on those social media platforms, they're all on microphones. You go on Facebook, the microphone pop-ups are becoming, so it's sort of you're being monitored in some way. And some people have raised that in a funny way, yeah? But looking at it, this issue of privacy and these big-time social media platforms, will it become an issue? Because we've seen also Mark Zuckerberg appearing before Congress a while back based on the same issue. Actually, it was touching on American politics. So is that a concern, and are people becoming more concerned about it?
Yes, it's a concern. People are becoming concerned about it. You're right about that. The problem is, you see, you've talked about Mark Zuckerberg appearing before Congress. What happened after that? I mean, they announced that there will be changes to privacy, and they usually try to do that. And of course, you can see steps that have been taken to try and address such issues. Okay. But ultimately, there will always be something snooping behind your back, because it's business, yeah.
Yes.
So it's very complicated, and as long as we cannot escape these, as long as we cannot have one platform that is not like Facebook in every single aspect, I think we'll have to do with it, and then keep on hoping that these issues get addressed one after the other. We don't know how long it's going to take for that to happen, but definitely it's going to be a big issue into the future as people get more woke.
All right.
I will say woke.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, we shall do this more often, right?
Definitely.
Not just reading your memes on WhatsApp. Anyway, as we close up, that is Vita's social media platforms. But let's take a look at the adventurer, and today we explore the leather shoe making market.